Alright, second video tonight. This video is going to give you an alt count, which I think is actually pretty likely the more I think about it. I've been thinking we're going to get a 10% correction here for our fourth wave, but let's just go through this chart on the weekly time frame. So from the bottom, I have this labeled as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was thinking this is the fifth wave right here. However, if you look at this from the bottom, we of course got the third wave right here pretty clearly. We get the fourth wave pretty clearly. If you take the length of the first wave, put it here at the bottom, look where it goes to. Almost to the cent. And we get the only red candle after this. Excuse me. So, is that the end of the third wave? That's the question. That's the same length. I think that actually might have been the end of the third wave. Let's zoom in here a little bit farther now. This is clearly a third wave, fourth wave, and then we get this big move here, and then we get this dip. Only took about 2 weeks. But the dip down here, this only took about a month. So, and it was the same length. That was my original target. I think this might be the fourth wave right there. And then if we bring this first wave to the bottom here. Oh, whoops, wrong spot. Takes us to 460. So then you got to think, if that's the third wave and that's the fourth wave, we got 5 waves here again. So this could be the top right here, but we're getting a very corrective move here, in my opinion. And we haven't hit the 460 if this is going to be the same length as the first wave. So what I'm thinking is we're potentially looking at either a, let's see, if this is the fourth wave right here, if this is a first wave, we're either looking at an extension right here, like that, and I would actually lean towards that. I don't think we're going to do this. We could have an extension for the whole wave. I think it's likely that this is going to extend. And it might just take a while because, again, we're in February right now, almost March. My projection's like June or July for the top in the market. So if you think about this too, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get an extension here, the 1.61 fib takes us to 453, pull back, another move higher. That would be about the right target. So we could be looking at this. Like this. And that means that tomorrow might be the last dip. So, and I'll go into Nividia here in a second. We've already hit past the 0.61 fib. That might have even been the bottom right there. We might have already bottomed. Let's zoom in here a little bit farther. I guess that's 5 waves. I said that it was probably going to get another move down, but this might have been the bottom right there. We didn't fill this gap though at 422. We can still come down here to 422 going into earnings tomorrow for Nividia. But think about also the biggest event, the biggest earnings of the year is tomorrow. So this makes a lot of sense when you think about it from that perspective too. We're about to have a big move either way. And then we go to Nividia, and I have Nividia in a fourth wave too. So you can see what I think, why all this is coming together, like how it makes sense. Clearly a third wave, we're making a fourth wave. This could come down farther tomorrow. But if I'm right and this is an extension here, then you're just looking at a huge move after earnings. You're looking at Nividia probably going to like 800 or so, maybe even 850, 900, maybe even 1,000. Who knows? But that's something to watch out for tomorrow, because I've been in the camp of a 10% correction for a while. But just based on the timing of this, do we really have time to go all the way down here to 400, maybe even 390, and then come back up here? I don't know. I think we're ready to go already. I think you have everybody thinking that we are needing to correct, and I think this is a perfect spot to just blow it up again and melt up and finish off the move. It might take 2 or 3 or 4 months, but let's look at the dollar now. Definitely something to think about for tomorrow. So tomorrow might be more important than you think. If you're trying to get your positions ready, you better have some hedges in place, because again, also the dollar, I have the dollar as so the dollar is already retraced to the 0.5 fib. That's what kind of like made me think, like, why is the dollar already, it's already made its second wave pullback, like it's already finished. It could come up here to 105, but like it's pretty much finished. So this makes a lot of sense when you think about that as well. Here's the whole picture of this. Basically, you're looking at something like that. Down here to 94. So the dollar makes a lot of sense for this theory, this count. This chart I showed you makes a lot of sense. And then Nividia, who has earnings tomorrow, I can show you pretty clearly that it created or finished a third wave right here. We're in a fourth wave. Look at that, 865. So tomorrow I expect more red. That's what I'm expecting tomorrow. I'm expecting more red. Create a lot of doubt in everybody. It's going to be really red. Everyone's going to think that we're correcting. And at this point, I think I'm leaning towards this count the most. I think that this one makes the most sense. Everyone also thinks about seasonality. Everyone's thinking seasonality, we're going to be red into April. So you got to think, I'm not saying the other count can't happen. It can still happen, obviously. But I'm just saying this count looks very likely. And then you have Microsoft too, which I think is in a fourth wave as well. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So Microsoft is showing the same count. I haven't looked at Meta and Amazon. Apple has been selling off a lot. Let's see where that's at. I actually have Apple already topped out right here. So I'm not sure how this would play out. Maybe this is a fourth wave. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I thought the fifth wave ended right here. It's been kind of a harder chart. So I'm not sure on Apple. I guess it could be a fourth wave. But on Microsoft and Nividia, it's set up perfectly for a move higher. QQQ is set up for an extension. And the dollar is set up to fall down lower. So I'm going to be looking over my position tonight for sure, trying to make sure that I have everything set up how I want to have it set up. I'm going to have hedges because you don't know which way it's going to go, but right now I'm leaning towards the upside. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not overly bearish or overly bullish, but I want to be able to jump on the move whenever it happens, whenever I can figure out which one's going to happen after earnings. It can be pretty obvious in my opinion. After earnings, that's when you got to jump on it, but you got to have some hedges in play going into earnings. So that's what I think about QQQ. Originally thought a 10% correction from here down to like 400. Still possible, but I'm going to be watching out for this move after Nividia earnings would be a third wave, and it would take us all the way up to 453. So 453, it might take a while. Maybe it takes, let's see, we're at 427 right now. Is that right? Seems like it would go higher than that. Let's see. No, 453, I guess. So we go from 423 to 453, pull back, and then who knows how high the fifth wave would go. Anyway, that's just another count to keep you on your toes. I mean, it makes a lot of sense in every aspect. I showed you how it makes sense. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I'm going to be getting ready my portfolio tomorrow during the day for this move if it plays out. It invalidates if it goes below 417, but you still could have an extension for this too. You could have an extension that for this whole fifth wave. That would mean we're going up here probably to like 500 or so. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this is going to happen, or do you think we're going to get a correction into April and then another massive melt up after that? That's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. Catch you in the next video.